You're watching Netrush Report, your home for tennis drama, rivalries, and the stories that go far beyond the baseline. If you live for the intensity, the comebacks, and the legends in the making, hit that subscribe button and join the rush. Let's start with Jack Draper, whose 2025 season was supposed to be the year he fully arrived. Draper burst onto the scene with a breakout season, lifting his first Masters 1000 trophy at Indian Wells and pushing into the final of Madrid. Those results skyrocketed him into the top 10, and fans started talking about him as a genuine threat at every tournament he entered. But just when everything seemed to click, disaster struck. A left arm injury, diagnosed as bone bruising in his humerus, forced Draper to withdraw from the US Open. Days later, he confirmed that his entire season was done to prioritize recovery. For a player who thrives on rhythm and momentum, the timing couldn't be worse. His absence in Shanghai means the draw loses one of its most explosive young contenders, and fans will have to wait until 2026 to see him back on court. Next, Tommy Paul. The American had been carrying the hopes of the U.S. men's game with his hard-hitting style and fearless shot-making. But 2025 hasn't been kind to him physically. Plagued by ongoing foot tendon problems and a recurring abdominal strain, Paul has struggled to compete at full throttle. He showed glimpses of brilliance earlier in the year, but the stop-start nature of his season has made it impossible to build momentum. With Shanghai off the table, his hopes of qualifying for the ATP finals also take a serious blow. For Paul, the challenge isn't just about Shanghai. It's about finding a way to stay healthy long enough to play his best tennis consistently. Then comes Grigor Dimitrov, one of the tour's most stylish and beloved veterans. His absence is particularly painful for fans because it stems from an injury suffered at one of the sport's biggest stages, Wimbledon. Up 2 sets against Jannik Sinner, Dimitrov was pushing the defending champion to the brink before a pectoral injury forced him to retire mid-match. Sinner went on to lift the trophy, but for Dimitrov, it was another heartbreaking setback in a career filled with both brilliance and frustration. Throughout 2025, Dimitrov has had flashes of strong form, but the injuries and inconsistency have kept him from stringing it all together. His decision to withdraw from Shanghai is a reminder that even the most graceful players aren't immune to the physical demands of the tour. Now let's talk about Arthur Fils. If Draper was 2025's breakthrough on the British side, Fils was the French counterpart making waves. Bursting into the top 14 and showing he could hang with the best, Fils looked like the future of French tennis. He reached the quarterfinals at Masters events and showed poise beyond his years. But a stress fracture in his lower back cut that rise short. Despite attempts to return, the discomfort kept resurfacing, and now Shanghai becomes another casualty on his calendar. For a player with such promise, the priority has shifted to long-term health. Fans will have to wait a little longer to see him back competing with the elite. Finally, the showman himself, Gael Monfils. At 39, Monfils is no stranger to battling his own body. Over the years, his blend of acrobatics, athleticism, and pure entertainment has thrilled fans worldwide. But in 2025, the grind has taken its toll once again. An ankle injury in his most recent tournament means Monfils won't be part of the Shanghai field. What makes this particularly disappointing is that Monfils had been showing flashes of vintage form this season. He reminded fans why he remains one of the sport's most watchable figures. Unfortunately, his withdrawal adds another chapter to the story of a career defined as much by injury breaks as by jaw-dropping highlights. So what does this all mean for the Shanghai Masters? Well, the absence of Draper, Paul, Dimitrov, Fils, and Monfils clears space in the draw for others to make a run. With Jannik Sinner defending his title, Carlos Alcaraz hungry to reclaim dominance, Novak Djokovic looking to avenge last year's runner-up finish, and Alexander Zverev in the mix, the tournament still promises firepower. But these missing names remind us how unforgiving the tennis calendar can be. For Draper and Fils, their youth suggests they'll bounce back stronger. For Paul, the question is whether he can manage his fitness in time to salvage his year. And for veterans like Dimitrov and Monfils, every injury layoff raises questions about how many more chances they'll get at this level. And that's the reality heading into Shanghai. 5 players who should have been there to light up the event, but whose bodies had other plans. Which absence do you think will impact the tournament the most? Will Draper's youth, Paul's consistency, or Dimitrov's experience be missed the most on court? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get the conversation going. Don't forget to subscribe to Netrush Report for all the latest updates, player drama, and tournament storylines that make tennis more than just a sport. It's a rush. Until next time, stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep living the rush.